Hello. We've had amazing 2 drives in the wilds of South Africa and Kenya. This is Safari Catch Up.
We got some ellis. Many times I've always said any day you see elephant is a good day. The light is perfect. They're out in the open, feeding away the savanna grasslands. There are 2 very, very small, tiny calves here. Lucy, look at that small little baby there, Lucy. Still very pinkish. Lucy, we got about 6-8 different herds of elephants around Governor's Camp. But Lucy, once in a while, we have seen the 8 families coming together. Then the times you only see 2s or 3s, but there's one particular one of 14 that we'll always see together. And many times it comes through the camp. And we have always been calling that family the Governor's family or the Governor's herd of elephants.
This boy is slowly moving away from us. I think this might be the last time that we will see him or follow him. And from there, we'll let him kind of do his own thing and continue on. Oh, a little rub up against the tree. Actually, we tried to push the said tree over earlier, but I suspect it's just a little too large. You can see when elephants, they test the trees. And you can see when they're testing them, and they kind of feel, this one is a little too sturdy. When they try and give it a bit of a shove and not much movement from the tree itself. That's when you see them go, let me try and find a different tree to go and push over. It is quite as sad as it is for the tree. It's quite impressive to see an elephant pushing over quite a big tree.
Woodland kingfisher. Now this bird arrives back from Africa into our summer season because of the food resources, and they come back and they claim territory, a breeding cavity in a hole in a tree. Yes, a lot of these birds are arriving in our hottest time of year, but that is when everything kicks off. The abundance of food. Territories can essentially be smaller because of the amount of food availability. So our blackback, puffback calling there as well, claiming.
Now here we have a beautiful harem of impala, and this male here is snorting, an indicator he's seen a predator, but the zebras in the back are not concerned at all. So my big guess is a leopard was trying to hurt them and just making sure that they don't go to that side. It's always nice watching how the rams will herd the ewes and bring them back together. One, not making sure that the bachelors don't get here, and also the second thing is not to stray away, because for him snorting, that is an indicator that there must be a leopard around here. Look at how alert he is. So the zebras have not heard or seen the leopard. But how the horns are almost locking on the tip, this shows that this is a young male. Probably he came and ousted the big male that was around here. You can see how the horns are almost locking, because old males at about 5 years old, the horns play out. So this is still a young one, probably about 4 years old, that came here and ousted the owner of this harem.
The cub following the mum. Not sure they want to go back to the den, and you can tell that is a very happy cubby. She has been suckling for quite some time. Let's see what the mum wants to do. Out going to patrol, but if you walk with her, there's a little bone somewhere. They have been nibbling for the last few minutes or so. One of the hyenas was nibbling a bone. Not sure from what animal it is. And definitely it was brought here from some carcass. I think she's justified to feed on it because she is breastfeeding. Daria, there is not a single animal that I know of here in the Mara that would kill hyenas for food. But, Daria, I know animals that kill hyenas, but not to feed on them. And I'm talking about lions. A great moment they are having the cubs with the mother feeding. And I think the cubs are telling mom, very well done. You need to feed for you to have lots of milk for us.
We have some of the lionesses from the Sand River Pride, and look what they have. They have a buffalo kill, and one of the cub is slowly just picking up some bit of meat there. This looks like it did not happen long ago. So the importance of going for the growing is because of the softer tissues. And look at the cub there. She's actually going on to the cartilage, and I can see some of the organs. It looks like that is what she's going for. That is one of the softer tissues, and it's important for the cub because also the teeth or the canines are not as strong compared to the older ones. And that's a good introduction because they've slowly been introduced to eating the solid food. This is gonna take them about probably 3 to 4 days. Still a big bull. So I'm hoping to see the rest of the pride coming here to eat.
Oh, have a look at this cute little scene here. This is the first impala lamb that we had seen for the season. And it's just sitting here next to a silver cluster leaf. Mom is not too far away, but I imagine this poor thing is tired. There were lions around this area last night, so there must have been quite a fair bit of moving around, staying awake, listening to alarm calls. So this poor little one must be exhausted. Ah, Shelly, I'd love to. It looks so cuddly. It looks very, very cuddly. But I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to infringe on mom's personal space with her baby or the babies. So the baby won't actually realize, what's going on at this point. It's so young.
And we've come across two redbucks, a male and a female, relaxed. So they just walked in here and picked that particular spot. So these are very shy antelopes here. And one of the times that I've found them whistling, because they whistle whenever they see a predator. So I've just been alarmed by one of them, just alarming. Not sure if it was a false alarm, but that's the reason why I came here. So only to find them just looking for a particular good spot to rest. Very shy, you always see them around here in the morning and in the evening. That is when they're very active. So that particular patch is going to be a little bit white because the moisture will be dried off because of the sun, and it will blend in, giving them a good cover, good advantage for them to hang around here for the rest of the day. And being at that spot, they can watch from all corners, all angles. So they can either hide in the reeds whenever they see a predator, they can run to the opposite either side, either to the Tanzanian side or to the Kenyan side.
But we found some buffaloes. They're moving down the hill, probably back towards the river for a drink. Their tracks are all over this road heading up and away from the river. But now we've got them going back again, so obviously it's from last night. The tracks going up as they fed. Now they're clearly heading in a direction down towards the pools of the Timavati River with their accumulation of oxpeckers. But you can definitely get a nutrient overload in an area, normally due to the pH or the uric acid. And your thoughts about, can dung burn grass patches? It's definitely something you've got to think about when it comes to soil, when it comes to seedlings. Putting in fresh dung does have the potential, when it's breaking down, to get quite hot. But this time of year, the dung beetles make short work of the buffalo dung, don't allow it to even get to that stage.
I would want to become a lion cub one day, because, these cubs have all what it takes in the world to be full of joy. You can see how affectionate they are at this particular age. And we know of all the cats we got in Africa, lions are the most social cats. And I think grooming starts very, very early. Bonding starts at a very tender age. Just look how they are hugging each other. Be careful. They may have some pretty sharp claws which may hurt their eyes, but I'm sure they're still very, very gentle, and they know their limits. And the good news, the mother keeps an eye, and I think if they overdo it, Kaleo, who is the mother, will very quickly stop that. You cannot continue doing like that. That could be hurt. And you can see the mother, that very good, Edwin. You see, she is there, her head is up, she's not napping, but just making sure, yes, play, but be very gentle to each other. Don't hurt your eyes. You might claw each other. You can see like Kaleo has one big claw mark on top of that right eye there. Could have been from a male, but like that looks like a permanent mark on her eye.
Wow, everyone, look who's decided to join us here. This is incredible. We've got two rhinos, but the larger one here I think is Mom, and just look at her horn. She's been digging with it. You can see there's a little bit of some roots of something maybe dangling off the tip of it. And I think they would do that to sort of churn up the mud and then lie in it. You can see clearly they've been lying in the mud today. But they do also like to rub and shape their horns and make them nice and pointy like that. But such an interesting look with the different coloration, the different soils that they've been dusting in.
Welcome back, everyone. Lovely elephant bull here, having a drink in a little puddle. Perfect off the vehicle shot. Just changes the angle up slightly. Very, very special. Spend time with these animals, ground level. Nice bit of cover, a bit of a pan in between us. Really nice opportunity. And don't forget to breathe in these situations. Wind is blowing very strongly towards us, very right into our face, and he's not the least bit concerned. Amazing, Amanda. That's what it's all about.
I actually did not want to leave my cubs from Kaleo, but then I had this male, or had seen this male at one point up, then he went down, and when I came here again, he went flat. Now I want us to have a look at the mane of this particular boy, and this boy, look at the size of the mane. He is from a coalition of lions that we call the Topi Boys, and I'm sure you have all been following me with the Topi Boys. And of the 7 boys, he is the largest in size. When he's standing up and he's looking at you, big head, big man, and his name is Jojo. And I've always made a joke that if you meet him at the corner, it's like he'll be telling you, I am going to eat you right now. But either way, if you look at the nose is still pinkish. He's about 4 years old, and that pink will disappear with age. A first cousin to this one, called Kiongozi, has a much pinker nose than him, because he is definitely younger by about a year. Look at the size of this boy.
So there was chaos at the dinner table here. The lionesses decided to fight. So the dominant one was not happy, and as soon as he went on to fight the subordinate one, the rest striked, and it was chaos here. Everyone left the scene, the cubs have fled off. Whoa, what a scene here. Can you hear the cubs calling? The mother calling the cubs there. I think there was etiquette that was needed, and as soon as they started fighting, it became chaos. Chaos, chaos, chaos. Now they're coming back together. Okay, calm has been restored. And let's see if we can get back to the kill. Sorry about that, guys.
Look at what we have found. Beautiful yellow feet, that little rufous crown, That sort of stripe that comes down onto the eye, looks like a mask, very typical of our falcon species. This is an adult lanner falcon. Very cool to see. So 80% of their diet, more than 80% of the diet, is birds. They also have small mammals and insects, as well as bats, some reptiles. Very pretty, Liesel. Very pretty to see. So as with falcons, deep dive steep into an attack. They move at such high speed. They come down and they use their body with their talons to smash their prey, normally killing them instantly.
I think this afternoon I've had so many youngsters playing. No, this young one here is so young. But I think she's also full of life and is trying to show the other one, ooh, toast the stick or the little dry branch up in the air. Just I think ideally this would help them, make the trunks stronger. But I think above all, Jesse, they also discover, what to do with the trunks, because every time they'll cut something, toss it, if they get hurt by the same item that they're playing with, it will always tell them something. But next time we have to be careful with what we're doing. But think true. It may make the trunk stronger, but above all, discover themselves. What do I need to do with this trunk? What is it meant to be? Play, fight, grasp some grass or some vegetation from the ground. Look at that small baby there. I think now she just got tired and getting very close to the mother.
And it's so lovely that I was just saying to BK how light it still is, how high the sun is. It's one of the best things about summer in the bush is the length of the days. It definitely doesn't feel like it's 6:15 in the evening. Janine, it's beautiful. I mean, the fact that we had quite the contrast of weather this morning to what we are experiencing this afternoon. It is perfect outside. It's not too hot. It's not too chilly. You don't even need to put a jacket on yet. The sun is just that right amount of warm. And you can see the tails moving left, right, a lot of flicking happening. And that is because of the flies. You can actually see one of those Sabi in the background there coming into view. Not something we see too many of here, but they are one of the antelope species that we see. And in fact, Mabula is one of the places where you can see so many of the other antelopes that you generally don't see in the Lowveld very regularly, including things like Sabi, sable, eland, which are some very special ones to be able to spend time with.
Well, we've got them. On the right is the woolly neck stork, the more black bird with a very woolly-like neck. And on the left is the white stork with the pink beak, almost fully white body with that white back and lower portion. You can see the difference now between that and the yellow-bill stork. Very nice to see the differences. And the scientific name for the white stork is Ciconia ciconia. And I only tell you this because the Latin ciconia means the stalk. So basically they call it the stalk, the stalk. I like that. So breeding pairs return to the same roosts, the same breeding nests in Europe, and have done for a long time. I'm very familiar with many European families, all the way up into Sweden, all the way through to Asia as well. Very low population actually remains in South Africa and breeds here on the Agulhas Plain. Lovely. They've come all the way here for the food.
Oh, I haven't seen an aardwolf pooping. Look at that. That's the midden. Or one of the middens. Oh, there we go. There we go. Toilet time. And that, don't know if we can call it scat really. It's more dung. It's just made up of termite and ground, really. They feed exclusively on termites. Look at that, marking its territory. Oh, BK, this is so cool. And remember when Cam and I saw our first one here in the same area, it just took off super fast. So it woke up, it came to its midden, did its pooping, and now it's going off and probably start to feed.
Isn't that cute? It's a tiny elephant. Tiny elephant, and is just lifting its trunk. Oh my goodness, you're adorable. Precious little thing. Trying to pick up on any of the smells. All of the smells. Hello, Mom. You have a very cute little baby. Looks like a little boy. Yeah, it's a little boy.
This looks like a youngster. I think it might be one of the youngsters from the litter. We're very much in this area. Beautiful. Trot, trot, trot. Oh, it's actually coming right towards us. Excuse. Oh, that's a little beetle. Curious. Oh, wow. That is awesome. It's definitely a young one. Just the camera movements. It wasn't sure of that. Oh, it's going to go behind us now, everyone. That was cool. You can see how green between the trees here, where one of the burnt areas. Like I say, off to do its thing now. So I'm going to... Wow, BK is doing a phenomenal job, can I just say, everyone. He's basically twisted himself 180 degrees to be able to show you that jackal moving away. That's incredible.
As you can see, nature never fails to deliver something magical. We hope you enjoyed the Safari Catch Up. We'll see you on the next one.